Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Technical Forum of Hydrogen and Fuel Cells Europe. We have a lot of presentations which are very cutting edge, cutting off sometimes also. And right now I've got a woman from, not really from Brussels, but she will talk about projects financed by Brussels. And the subject is Clean Hydrogen Partnership, supporting the EU technology and its leadership. And she's the head of unit operations. And welcome, Mrs. Mirela Atanasiu. Come on the stage.
Good morning. Okay, you can hear me. Thank you very much for the introduction. Really pleased to be with you here today. So we change a bit the tone of the discussion. I'm not going to present to you results. I'm not going to sell anything. Just tell you that we are a partnership, a public-private partnership between the European Commission and Hydrogen Europe Research, representing the industry and the research community. And of course, we have funding for hydrogen technology. Let me see if this works. Yeah, I mentioned already. So we are based in Brussels. We are a public-private partnership, like I said, between the European Commission, Hydrogen Europe, and Hydrogen Europe Research. And we have been, last year in December, just given more funding, 1 billion euro by 2030, with additional 200 million announced last week under the Repower EU to finance hydrogen technology, mostly research and innovation. So to push the technology, like I said in the title of my presentation, and to support the EU companies and its leadership. So far, we are not starting from yesterday. We work from 2008. So we already have 14 years of more than 1 billion support already for almost 300 projects across the whole value chain in Europe, from the production, the distribution, the storage, and the end uses for all the application, mostly transport, but also for heat and power production. And you may have heard about hydrogen valleys. We have created the concept. I'll come in a minute to explain that. And we have started creating new business models around the hydrogen valleys. What have we done in the last 14 years? We have pushed the electrolysis technologies. We started 14 years ago with around 150 kilowatt unit. And I think with our projects, we are pushing on the ground to demonstrate first of a kind 10 megawatt of 20 megawatts in the project. And of course, we will contribute to the hydrogen strategy and the electrolysis summit, which was committed to deliver the gigawatts by 2025. We have also supported, I mentioned already, on the end uses, the different types of applications. So from the cars, the buses, the refueling infrastructure, but also to the trucks. And now we are moving more and more to the maritime and even to the planes solution. We are looking at the ports as a solution. And we are working with a coalition of the different ports in Europe under the global ports coalition, of course, under the Clean Energy Ministerial, to look at how the ports could help in the hydrogen economy. And of course, we look at all the actors around the ports, not only port, but also, for example, ship owners, terminal operators, etc. We also have projects, I mentioned, on the end uses on heat and power production, the CHP solutions. And we have, with our projects, Enefield or PACE, we have put into the field in Europe some thousands of applications. And of course, as support activities, we are also supporting or funding for example, education, training, pre-normative research, safety, all types of activities around the technology. I will invite you also to look at our hydrogen observatory. where we try not only to provide or to be the data hub for the market data, but also for the technology data with results from our projects, where the technology stands, for example. And now, I mentioned to you the Hydrogen Valley and our initiative. So in addition to support to the different technologies across the value chain, we have also started to look at the different business models that will, how can I say, push maybe the technology into the field. We have started working with regions and with countries, member states, how we call them in Europe, to see how we can join the efforts to really finance or fund projects. And we have different streams in working on that, and we have on the left side the project development assistance type of support, where we work and we offer support to develop the project, not necessarily to fund the project, but to develop the project. And then on the right side, with a mature project in place, we go and we fund the first project. One example, you may know about it, it's our project in the northern Netherlands, is the Heaven project, is the Groningen Hydrogen Valley, where we have an integration of existing project cluster across 6 different locations. So it's a big project. We talk here more than 100 million investment, of which we contribute with 20 million. So our investment is about maximum, I would say, 20%. In this case, we have integration of renewables, onshore and offshore, of course, in the North Netherlands. And then the use, the development of the infrastructure, of course, the pipelines, and the use in different end-user applications, transport, but also combined heat and power, with eventually the remaining hydrogen injected into the natural gas grid. Another example of our projects is the island of Mallorca. This is the project Green Highland, which is also using the renewable capacity in the island, mostly photovoltaic, PV. And then, of course, again, the use of hydrogen in different applications, with the remaining, again, injected into the natural gas grid to green, of course, the natural gas grid. Together, because as I said, we are the main instrument of the European Commission for Research and Innovation, and together with our colleagues in the European Commission and with our colleagues across the globe, in US, in Japan, and everywhere, we have developed this concept of Hydrogen Valley at a global level. And right now, we are developing a platform where we feature the valleys. We have more than 34 valleys already from 19 countries on our platform, so feel free to visit the platform. We will update the platform and relaunch it. It's planned somewhere in September, so more valleys will be featured on the platform. And of course, behind some analytics and some data from the valleys in order to exchange the so-called best practices. As I said, it will continue. We plan to, in September, to move on with this platform of the valleys. And a bit of show schematic of where the billion by 2030 will move. As you can see, it's across the whole value chain. We will continue to support on the production side the electrolysis to keep the leadership in Europe on electrolysis technology. We will move on the distribution and storage, from storage above ground, underground, new pipelines, repurposing of pipelines, but even injection into the pipelines. We will continue to look at compression, for example, as one of the technologies for distribution of hydrogen, but we will also move into the liquid hydrogen and also some other carriers like liquid organic or ammonia. So that's what we will continue supporting. On the transport, I mentioned, we will continue to develop and fund the fuel cell development, in particular for heavy-duty applications. And on the end uses, on the energy side, we will continue working on the stationary fuel cell, but we will also start funding boilers, turbines, burners, for example. And of course, I mentioned we have many, many other activities along the grants that we offer, the billion. And yeah, just to show to you that we are not the only funding instrument of the European Commission. We are the main one for research and innovation, but there are many other opportunities for funding at EU level for the technology. So in addition to the left side where you can see the research, you have on the right side many other instruments at European level where you can get funding or financing for the project on hydrogen. And lastly, to tell you that currently we have a call open for 300 million. The first deadline is today, 5 o'clock. So we are expecting some hundreds of applications. And the second deadline, pay attention, is 20th of September, and really looking to receive good applications and good projects to fund. With that, I thank you very much, and I hope I respected the time. Thank you very much.
You made it in time, and it's a temptation to speak longer within this variety of possibilities the EU gives us. So, do you have time for a question? One question. One question?
It was clear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it possible to meet you somewhere?
Yeah, sorry. We have the booth together with our colleagues NOW, so with the two funding organizations in Germany at EU level. So the booth is down there, B41, I believe. Yeah.
Okay, thanks a lot for this interesting presentation.